Hey guys, South African Chris here from New Zealand. How are you? Alright, as you can see on the screen here, I've got my stock scanner running at the moment, so that'll go on for a bit of time, scanning through 7,229 stocks on the US stock market, NASDAQ, NYSE and Amex today. What you see here on the screen is Market Investor Pro, software I developed myself to help me with my trading strategy, which is day trading and swing trading. And pretty much this is a platform, not a brokerage platform, so you don't actually buy and sell stocks through this platform. You use it to do your technical analysis of stocks and set up your strategy. So this is this dialog is floating here. I'll just drag it down. So these are the stocks and trades so far for this month. The ones that are in black are actively open, and the ones that are in gray have been closed. The green lights means wins, red lights mean losses. Not a great month. Last month went a lot better, but we'll keep on trying. As long as we win more than we lose, it's all good. So currently with closed trades, we're in the plus, and with open trades, we're also in the plus. So that at least is good. Now, there are a few trades that we're going to talk about. So ones that I said I'm going to keep a close eye on, these ones highlighted in the green in my portfolio, the open trades. And also there were some trades that got onto the watch list yesterday by scanning for technical data or technical indicators, but they weren't quite ready yet, so those are the ones on the watch list highlighted in green. The ones you see here in blue are the ones in play, and the ones in black are just ones that I keep on my watch list. I should actually reduce this a little bit and clean it up. Anyway, we'll talk about all of these in a minute or two once this is finished scanning. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee, and I'll be back with you in a second. And I'm back. Okay. So we can see here that the scan is almost complete. So while that's wrapping up, let's just have a quick talk about my trading platform for brokerage that I use. So I mentioned I use TigerTrade. I thought I'll just quickly give you a quick overview of what that looks like. So this is the interface. You've got your watch list here. You can scan stocks and you can watch news based on some web scrapers and stuff. It's pretty good. They've got a nifty mobile app as well. So there it is on my phone, and the data is synchronized fairly well. I also use Thinkorswim from time to time. I find Thinkorswim's got a lot more technical indicators and a lot more advanced setups for trading, especially. One issue with TigerTrade is you can't set up complex trades, so you can't set a combined trade. In other words, you want to set your target price, you want to set your stop loss, and you want to set your limit orders, your buy-in, in other words, and all of that, all in one trade. With TigerTrade, you can't do that yet, but I've been talking to the developers, being a developer myself, and suggested that they build in these features because that would make this platform a lot more powerful. I'd like it because it's quick to do trades. It's very fast. It's almost instant. So if you want to do a trade, you pretty much just straight up go and set up your trade, and it's all good. So whereas with Thinkorswim I find it's a bit more a lot more effort that has to go in order to just set up a trade. And I've had some problems with pre-market and post-market trading on Thinkorswim. With TigerTrade, it's kind of instant and it works well. It's not just for the US stock market, it's also for UK, China, don't know what that is, but it will be for Singapore as well, and a couple of others, the Australian market as well, stock market. So anyway, this is not a software promoting video. Let's get to the top stocks for today. So excuse me, we can see from the short list that it's or the scan list that it's finished scanning. It found 32 stocks based on the criteria that I've set here. You can have a look at those on the screen if you want. And some of these will already be in the list, some of them will not be. The next thing I need to build into this thing is to not add items to the list that is already on my watch list. Okay, so currently it doesn't do that yet. But before we look at those, let's just look at the stocks here. Now, the first three highlighted ones you see here is PSTH, CIIC, and SPLK. Now, these ones were referred to me, or actually not just to me, to the whole wide world, on YouTube by the Zip Trader. So Zip Trader, link below in the description, posts videos frequently, also doing technical analysis, fundamentals, you name it. And these were new listed items. that he recommended, and I've been keeping an eye on them, just seeing how they perform, but I'm not necessarily buying into them at this stage. The one we did look at and we said we want to review today because it wasn't quite ready yet was Boeing. So if we look at Boeing, let's just go to the current indicators. And the issue we had yesterday is that the stochastics was not ready yet. So let's see if that has changed today. So we can see yesterday was a bit bearish. There was a bit of a doji candle on the 15th. And we can see from the stochastics, it's kind of turning, but it's not up there yet. Remember, we said when it dips below this bottom line, it means it's oversold, and when it turns back up towards this bottom line at a level of 30, that's when we want to buy, when it's kind of close to this edge here crossing back over. We want to see strong momentum as well. You know, we don't want to see a slow, lazy curve that's going to take days to get up there. We want to see some strong momentum and action there, indicating quick profits for day traders. Right, we can also see from the MACD the blue line is above the signal line, which means it's bearish, but it does look a little bit like, yes, a duck face, right? So duck face means that if you project these lines forward, it looks like they might intersect. Not so strong on this particular stock though, still looking okay. There's a big gap, and it's definitely not going to happen in the next day, but hopefully, but it still is a bit of a duck face forming. Anyway, so the ATR, the average true range, is, you can see in a bit of a downtrend there. That's just the volatility of the stock really. So if we get an average ATR here, we would draw a line somewhere through the middle, and we say, okay, the average range of this stock is more or less $8.50-ish, $8.20, around about there. And that means that's how much the stock goes up and down per trade day based on the past few weeks. On the right here, we see some pattern identifiers. Nothing, this is based on the candles, so candlesticks, so there's nothing recently, and these are just some indicators, the ADX being a strong one. So it's saying it's a very strong trend, the ADX, which is a very good indicator, but still we see this little bit of a dip on the relative strength index as well, meaning it's still bullish. It's right here at the top, and it's been trending there for a bit, but it looks like it's dwindling down a bit, and it might hit this midline here and bounce off it again, or as you can see, this kind of acts as support at times, or it might actually dip below it, in which case there might be a problem. Alright, so I'm going to just move this off a little bit to the side so we can see what's going on here. The other one we were looking at was PDD. I can't pronounce their name properly, I don't know how, but PDD is the symbol. We can see there's on the 15th, which was the day before yesterday, it picked up a flag pattern, say it's bullish. Doesn't mean we're going to buy, it just is an indicator. It's a strong trend. It says it's a trending stock. It was bullish yesterday. It is turning around back on the stochastics. Yeah, it looked like it was a bit of a duck face forming, but if you can see right there at the tip, it looks like it's bending back a little bit again, so we might be okay on this one. The RSI is turning a bit down, but look at that, it's at an all-time high here for this stock. It's actually not that bad, and we can see an upward trend on the RSI, meaning we're going to buy the stock. So PDD, let's head over to the portfolio. We're going to hit add trade. This is going to do some calculations for us, or for me. It looks at my total capital available cash. It looks at some of the information in my settings, which I'll get to in a second. And based off of that, it calculates, among other things, my positioning. So it says I need to buy 78. It looks at the cost. It looks at the target price, or it calculates the target price, but it also looks at the ATR being 9.08. And we can see my average is 7.02 on this one, so that's good. We're within that. We don't want to be way over the ATR or way below, because that could end up badly. And we've got a stop loss order set up here as well. This is all looking pretty good actually. Let's just hit this current button, and what that does is, I don't have to, I set it so it does by default if you choose, is it just gets the latest price. The prices we initially pick up are the closing price for the previous trade day, but it doesn't take into consideration the post trading actions. So all of that said and done, let's hit record, because we're going to add this as a new trade. So we just wait a second. It says add new trade. Yes, add the new trade, and let's just move this guy out of the way, and you can see there it is. It's been added. Okay, it's showing we've already made a profit, but remember that's the last close price. If I hit the current price button, it will run through these and update that to the current price, which we'll do in a bit. Okay, let's go back to our indicator. So you'll see that one is now, let's just remove the marking, because I don't want to the color coding doesn't work if I don't update it, right? So Qualcomm, that was the next one. So let's look at that. There's a double top pattern picked up. It's bearish, right? So that tells us something. Doesn't mean we're not going to buy. The ADX is strong trend, and it is a trending stock. It has definitely turned around in the stochastics. Everything looking good. There's the problem. You see what I mean with the duck face. So we had a duck face forming here, and it's coming to fruition. So it's actually crossing over and touching the intersecting. And we can see we do have a bit of a jump on the RSI. But notice that it is losing power there a little bit, losing momentum. So I think we're going to have a bit of a dwindling effect there, crashing back, or not crashing, but touching back down on that middle support there. There's potential for profit here, but not a lot, not overwhelming proof of it. So I'm going to remove this stock. I'm not going to trade it because I do have a finite amount of money. Okay, this one is still highlighted. Let's unhighlight it because you can see I've already bought it. It's blue. Here's the other one, Corvo. So let's look at this one, and then we're going to run through adding new items to the list. So no current patterns. The last one was a bit bearish. It was around about here, but it bounced back, snapped back to the EMA. We can see the turnaround's good. Look at the duck face. It's not touching, but we need to just keep that in mind. And also a little bit of flattening of that curve there. I'm not going to go into this one. Okay, that concludes the stocks from yesterday that was on the watch list. Okay, Boeing we said we're going to still watch. Now, let's look at the new one. So the way this works is I double click on a stock, in this case ANET, it's already on the list, so it won't add it again. And let's see what's happening here. So we've got that doji there forming. We can see that, you know, there was a lot of bullish action, attempted action, but it was resisted and pushed back quite a bit. But there's not so much resistance back on the bearish, you know, that piece, the bottom part of the candle, you know. So we can see that that gives us kind of an idea of what's happening with the stock. We can see it bouncing up. We can see the MACD not looking too bad. We're trending upwards on the RSI as well as the ATR. It's looking pretty good. What I'm going to do is, it says keep in the watch list. Yes, keep it in the watch list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this one. We might potentially buy this one today. APPN I did look at recently. I don't want to get into that one again. BlackRock I've done. CHTR, no idea what that is. Let's check. So you'll see if it's not in the list, it'll add it. So Charter Communications, let's have a look. So no patterns detected. It was a bit bearish, and we can see it's jumping, you know, all over the show, but here on the candles, not very good in the stochastics. Crossover on the MACD within the past 5 trade days, everything looking terrible from at least my perspective and the way that I trade. So no on that one. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Chipotle. Okay, a bit late to the game. We can see that there has been quite a big pre-market jump there. Must be some news or something happening. It's a weak trend, but it's kind of had some sudden quick bullish action. Bearish MACD though, looks like it's crossing over. It could potentially a good investment, but it's not the way that I trade and not something that I want to get into. STC. So I recently closed the trade on this one, so I probably could look at this one again. So we can see very bullish candle. It's a little bit above the MA, which is dangerous. It might snap back. We can see a very sharp turnaround in the stochastics, big gap on the MACD, RSI, ATR looking good. RSI looks like it's heading there to the top again. I'm going to keep it in the watch list, and I'm going to mark this one. We might go in 50% on that one instead of the full investment. Facebook I've already got in my list. Let's see what it says about Facebook at this moment. So we can see no detected patterns. It's absent or a weak trend. It's bearish on the MACD. Turning back up, we can see slowly dwindling down to oversold, but very quickly went to overbought, which was good if you invested at this time. So let's see, if you bought stocks here, it means you would have gotten them at $268 a share, and if you sold when it went up and just crossed above this line here, you would have sold at 275. So potential for profit. We might be heading there again. Where are we today? So we're at 275. Yeah, it's not super low, is it? And we are bouncing up and down on this mid resistance level here. No, not at this stage. I'm not gonna do that. So the other one, 5 below. This was a stock that I recently closed because I think I lost some money on it, or I made, whichever. Either my target price has been triggered or my stop loss was triggered. I can't remember now. We'll have a look a bit later, but we can just highlight it for now and then deal with it later. Google, I checked the other day. They had a crossover on the MACD and there were some up and downs. I guess it's got to do with some of the news in the market these days. You can see they duck face happening, crossovers. Nah. Again, it doesn't mean you can't make money on this stock. It just means that using my strategy, which is based off of the training that Adam Koo provides, again, a link in the description below, based on that, this is not going to work, and that's not what I'm going to look at. LRCX already in play. Again, I should update my tools so that it doesn't show you stocks already in play. Stocks in the watch list, but not already in play. Lululemon, I did deal in this one not too long ago. Let's see where we're at. So bullish, was trending there at the bottom for a bit. Duck face, nope. That's it. That's I've learned my lesson with that one. Every time I see a duck face, I lose money. So not going to happen again. MA, can't remember what that is. MasterCard Incorporated. Okay. I did have this one on the list as well before. Let's quickly check what's going on. Nope. Okay. mRNA. Moderna. Okay. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so my program crashed and I'll have to run it again. Anyways, so that's just pretty much the process. I'm going to repeat that and finish up, and then once I'm done, I'm going to tell you which stocks I decided to go for today. And if we just look here at the portfolio, you'll see the stocks we've just added. These ones in greens are the ones that I need to watch carefully. So what I do is with AMP, for instance, if we look at the current trend here, you'll see I'm a little bit in the negative there. First things first, let's run the current price, because what we need to do is to first update this so that it doesn't show the last close price, but the most current pricing and information. And then we'll look at the technical data, and I'll be able then to make a call on whether I cut losses and run, or while it's not too terrible, or do we, let it ride a little bit and hope there'll be some updates. You see what happens? So it's telling me PDD. No, we don't want to close that. Okay, so don't know why it's asking me that. Anyway, so that's the purchase, that's the last close. We've got a stop loss at 141 and we've got a target profit at 152.44. Okay, so AMP, let's have a quick look at its current technical indicators. So something is wrong with my program. Let me restart it. Okay, give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, we're back, and the computer didn't blow up yet. So looking at the technical indicators on AMP, we can see we're close to the EMA 18 there. Stochastics not looking great. In fact, we were hoping that it's going to turn around here and push back up. It did not. So either I'm going to hang on to this one for 2 or 3 more trade days, which means next week, Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, for it to lift up again. We see a closing in here on the MACD, could be similar to that. It's dangerous times, really. I'm going to cut my losses on this one. Might not be the wisest decision in the world, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just make sure we've got the current stock price there, and we're going to click on sell or short. It knows that I had 29, so it's going to just close that off for me. So if I say record, it says close out this one from the 14th. Yes, that's correct. Close it out, unmark it. We take a $59.80 loss rather than a $200 or $300 or $500 loss. Okay, well, my stop loss was set at 105, so whatever that equates to be about, let me tell you exactly. It'll be $273.87, right? Because that's what I set up as my loss warning and my win warning values. Anyway, so that's that one. All right. INTU if we look at the same data here, same, it was highlighted. We added this trade on the 15th. So let's see what's happening. It's looking positive here. It's not looking too bad there. This looks like it's going up, up, up. Good trends, everything good except the ADX. But I think we can just let this one go. Let's look at this one here. KLA I was also watching, but we can see that I decided to close this one out. If we look at Nvidia, let's see what's happening with Nvidia here. Okay, so bearish yesterday, no current patterns, which is a good thing. We're reaching the top here on the stochastics. We're on a downtrend here, downtrend. It's not looking great. I think we should take a loss on this one and move on. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this one out, free up some cash. At least it's not the end of the world. So we just say sell, which means we're going to close this out. Yes, close it out on market. Okay, so now we've got some more cash available, which is a bit better. Okay, let's see. So we've got XLNX. All right, way above there at the top, doji candle. That could be a bad thing. We're at the oversold. We're not. It looks like we've hit the top there on everything, and it's coming back down. It's on 144 now. I'm going to take $144 rather than losing money, right? So that makes up for the 2 previous losses and then some. It's not a lot of money, but at least it's putting some cash back in my cash flow, and we're not taking a huge loss on this one, which to me is a win, really. Okay, so the only one that we're still watching is this INTU, right? So this is the one we still want to just keep our eye on. It's currently on the positive and things are looking good. There's some potential still for more profit. So once we hit one of those targets, it'll go. Otherwise, we'll just let it run for now. Okay. If we look at the stocks that we scan through, we can see the following. Okay, finally, we've run through this again, and I decided I'm going to build in a feature that it stores the search results so that if something happens, I can close and open and not have to scan it again, because it does take a bit of time. Okay, so what have we got? Not that much today, but, well, there's a couple, but just a few that I'm willing to get into, really. So a few of these I closed off yesterday. I need to remove them from my list, but if we just look at a few of these, so we went through the top ones there. I've added Vail Resorts, Moderna, and Novacure Limited. So if we look at the first one here, MTN, let's look at the stats. So we see the double top bearish pattern on the 15th. We can see a sharp turnaround here, bit of a duck face again. So there we go. And then we can see an upturn here on the RSIs, everything looking okay. I'm going to get into this one, but I'm going to have to monitor it very closely. So let's go. Make sure we do have the current market price. I set it up that way. It's saying that our ATR is above minus 13.69, whereas their the ATR is about 10.53. Maybe we can reduce this a little bit. Let's set that target price at $290. That sets us a little bit better. Okay, and let's record that trade. So there we go. That's MTN as a new trade for today. Let's look at Moderna. So let's hit the current indicators and let's see what's going on here. We can see a bullish pattern picked up on the 15th, right? So we could see some uptrend here. Not ready yet on the stochastics. We see that it was trending here at the line above 70 here on the RSI for quite some time. It was a sharp turn down again, and that was due to this huge drop here. But basically, that's just snapping back to that EMA. I know we haven't turned around in the stochastics yet, and there's a little bit of losing of momentum on the MACD. But I think this is one worth getting into, and I'm gonna kind of roll the dice on this one a bit. But having said that, you know, we do keep a close watch on the stocks, and we do set our stop losses and all of that so we don't lose too much, right? So I think it's worth the risk in this case. Novacure Limited, let's have a look at this one. Again, we're looking at the current indicators, and then we'll circle back to STCN5. Same story really. double bottom pattern. Oh, that's too long ago. Yeah, maybe I'll wait a bit. There's a sharp drop here, and we can see that that's just the correction really happening there. But we might get a bit of a consolidation after a big rise like this, as you can see here. So good to watch this one. It looks pretty strong. We can see it's a strong trend. I'm going to keep it in the watch list, of course, and I'm going to mark this one because I want to keep an eye on it going forward. Now, I can't remember whether we've looked at ANET. Oh, we did. Yes. What was the outcome of that again? Apologies, my bad. I probably said to wait a bit. Oh, we can see an upturn there. We can see things looking good. Everything is looking good. Bullish, strong trend. Yep, we're gonna get into this one. Just out of interest, this information says target price at 285.9. Let's see what the program says. It says 285.7. All right, so oh no, that's the purchase price. Sorry. Okay, mine says 299.39. That's way too high. We can see the range is almost double of the ATR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this a bit, which is not ideal, but I'm not going to reduce it all the way. I'm going to set this at 290 flat. Oh, that's stupid. 294. All right, so that's a little bit above, but I think that's okay. And we've got our stop loss set and everything should be good. So let's record that trade and keep an eye on it. Okay, and the next one we've got here was ESTC. So let's have a look. Remember, I'm not actually trading yet. These are the ones I'm going to trade today. So once I'm done here, I'm going to head over to my I'm going to get into this trade as well. I'm going to head over to Tiger Trade and I'm going to program these trades in so that it automatically does that as soon as the pre-market starts, which is, where's my news button, which is, oh, this is not the pre-market that's going to show you here, it's the actual market. So 7 hours, 44 minutes. So the pre-market will start at 4:30 and 4 o'clock or 4:30, I can't remember now, and this is at 9:30 that we've got there. So okay, right, let's look at 5 below as the last potential trade for the day for me. So looking good here, looking good there, a little bit of a duck face, but looks like it's recovering. Yes, do we have money left? Yes, let's go into this trade. Okay, so there we go. What's the ATR here? Minus 7.94. It's a 4.87% increase. I think we can hit that over 2 days or 3 days if we have a good run up. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to record that trade. And that concludes my top stocks adding for today. So let's just recap. What were those? PDD. MTN, mRNA, ANET, and FIVE. Those are the stocks that I'm going to be trading today, and those will be my top stocks. So you'll notice that it's showing on some of these that they are already in a loss or in a profit, and I just bought them, so how can that be again? The last close was recorded in the data, and that's what's displayed here, but obviously there's a post-market. So the program is now currently running through and updating these with the post-market or the latest prices, and it's scraping that data from Yahoo Finance, so we know that it is current as can be. And once it's through, we should see a more realistic result here of what's happening. So close out positions. No, we don't want to close out any positions. It's still running through, so we should see these going. Let's just say no here. Okay, boom, there we go. So that's where we're currently at. That's current, and that's what we want to see. So thank you for watching. I hope this helps you. Remember, do your own research. Stock market is dangerous and risky, and you could potentially lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. These are just my suggestions using my particular strategy. I would suggest you do your own technical analysis as well, and if you're not sure, consult with a specialist. Anyway, have a good day. All the best. Please hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Have a good one. Bye.
I like it.